hello, and welcome to the Rag Company podcast. I'm Dane Hennen. I got Levi to my right, and I've got Anthony to my left.
Hello.
And I think we're at number 37 now for the main show.
Yeah, just a year behind me.
Look
at that.
Okay.
I think that on our entire 30s in our episodes, we're just going to relate that to Levi's age.
Yeah.
Hey, we're 2 years ahead of you. 3 years.
When we finally break into the 40s, we'll become a little more mature.
Yeah, and I'll be like, it's a lot younger than me. Yeah. It's awesome.
Anyway,
so we're trying out with our text on the screen again, so we can actually know what we're talking about instead of just.
So if you're wondering why we're looking down,
finagling through the dark here, but so we got some stuff going on. But first, what happened over the weekend? Did you guys do anything interesting?
Dane, why don't you start that off? What'd you do?
Well, that's the funny thing. I was asking you because I really didn't do much at all.
Oh, Dane.
Well, Anthony did a lot. I basically. Just got my house ready for...
I got a piece of lint on my head.
Yeah, you do. Oh, you can't even get it.
I'm trying to use the...
We've been cleaning up the warehouse today.
No, this is from... I was shaking towels a little earlier, and so a little piece of lint right there.
I set my house up for... I've got my inspection on my old house for the new buyers today at 1 o'clock, which is right now. So I had to get my house ready for that.
Do you need to be there? And he's like, guys, I actually got to get going.
So because it's my house and I'm selling it, I don't have to be there. The new owners can be there for the inspection. So
I think they like it better that way too.
And I went to the inspection on the new house. Yeah. So on our new house. So that was good. And then our appraisal came back on the new house. It got done on the 13th. We haven't received it yet. We should receive it by Wednesday.
So it's still a mystery.
So basically, the two things we've been waiting for this week is the inspection on our house and then the appraisal on the new house to come back. And then we can hopefully hopefully bump our closing dates up a little bit so we can work because, like I said, it falls on the day before I go to Puerto Rico. Yeah. And I don't really want to leave my wife with that, so if I could bump it up a week before, that'd be pretty dope, and then I could at least get into the house and start tearing some
Well, it was kind of a fun saga to follow with you and your house because the market here has been a little nuts lately.
Yeah, there was an article in the Wall Street Journal about Boise.
Things, just a little bit.
Yeah, about I think yesterday, there's an article in the Wall Street Journal talking about Boise and about
normally you don't hear Boise being talked about unless it's on like one of those top 5 places to live, kind of things.
Well, that's what I saw. Yeah, and I was like, that's one of those like fake things. And I was like, what? WSJ.
Everybody in Boise freaks out when they see those lists because they go, "Oh no, here it comes!"
Yeah. But it was good. So did that basically. I spent the whole weekend just little things like, just little stuff that I had to fix. Touch up little spots of paint. And then what's funny though is like, my wife was like, let's leave some of this stuff because the new owners are literally talking about renovating the kitchen, renovating the upstairs to create an extra bathroom in the master. Yeah. Because as it stands right now, it's just we have a Jack and Jill sink in there and then a one bathroom. With a half bath downstairs.
Sounds like they have plans.
They've got some plans. They brought a contractor in on Friday, and they
good for them.
Yeah. So Carly's like, well, we don't need to don't worry about it. Like they're gonna rip it out anyway. I'm like, I've still got to finish touching this thing up. Just mostly because I wanted to pass I want the inspector to be able to go through and have all the big stuff checked. So
you don't want to look about.
Yeah. Well, so one good thing, most of you guys are probably way better at this than I am. Maybe you're not.
Doubtful. What is it?
Filter on your furnace.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm really good about that, actually.
Anthony, have you ever changed a filter on your furnace?
Yeah. No, I've done that. I've done that a handful of times. I'll do it. I guess I'll do it when I start to notice. I guess it's not good. When I start to notice like dust build up on the furnace.
There's a maintenance thing I'm better at than you guys because I get it done every 6 months. I have a service from Filter Factory Outlet, and they just charge my card, send me a new filter in the mail, and there it is. Well, actually, not even in the mail. They're local, so I just drop it off. But,
and then you take it.
Yeah, and then I just go put it in, throw out the old one.
Yeah. Done. So I was like, oh no, I haven't replaced the filter all winter. And then I was like, oh no, I didn't replace the filter this winter.
At all.
At all. Then I'm like, oh no, I never did it in the springtime either.
Oh yeah.
Then I'm like, oh,
It's been a while.
I replaced the filter. I didn't replace the filter. The guy who installed our air conditioner and serviced the furnace replaced the filter.
See, this is why I need that service, though, because if it weren't for that,
right? Yeah,
I
you
would
wouldn't
totally forget. And I would never.
Well,
ever
and
change
my
it.
mother-in-law is really good about going. Like she keeps a record and she goes and buys it and she puts it in there and she's like, "Here you go for you." Like she brings it. So that's my filter service. Is usually my mother-in-law showing up, just because that's the kind of gal she is, and so.
But that's nice.
Yeah. Well, and she didn't. So, and we didn't even think about it. And so I thought, I better check. What do I find when I open up my furnace?
Oh boy.
One, wrong size filter.
Of course.
Folded in half.
What?
Nice.
Just folded so it's like an L shape.
Yeah, it's like an L shape.
Into it.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
pulled that filter out.
Like you needed like a 4-inch filter, and they just took a 2-inch.
Well,
and
they needed like a
now
6.
it's 4.
They needed like a 16. It's a 16 by 20.
Okay.
They needed a 16 by 20. All they had was a 20 by 20. So they just
couldn't
folded 4 inches up and then stuffed it in there.
They just scrunched it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so I was
bad for him, man.
So I was very thankful that I found that, so I could go to Home Depot this weekend, grab a new filter, throw it in there. But it was one of those things that I didn't even think about. And then I had a swear word moment where I said every single swear word known to man.
Oh yeah, what caused that?
I ran over a electrical box with my lawnmower that runs all my power to my.
That sounds terrifying, actually.
Yeah, to my garage.
Oh, nice.
Where were you with your lawnmower that this would be an issue? Like, were you just
I was mowing the walls?
Yeah, so I was just running
I was mowing my lawn, and it was the first or second mow of the year. So my wife mowed, and then I left town and I didn't get a chance to weed eat, so that area grew a little thicker. And around this area, I have river rock and stuff to kind of protect that area, and it's next to the air conditioning unit, and it's just a underground channel that comes up and then makes a 90-degree turn to the house. And goes up to the breaker box. So it's not a very big spot, but it's right along the edge there.
So you caught it right where it's coming up.
I knew it was there.
Oh, no, that's almost worse.
But it was one of those things, like, I don't know if it was like a brain fart or what, but like I saw it, I mowed around it, and then all of a sudden it was like just a reflex, like, like I'm going to break this. Like, I don't know.
Every cuss word all at once, just.
Oh, gosh. Well, I don't know how, I was like freaking out. So. Called a buddy of mine who was an electrician, said, here's what just happened. And he was like, here's what you do. Go get this, go get that. You can fix it, take pictures, send it to me.
At least you didn't shock yourself.
You'll be all right. Yeah. So, so that's what I did. So I had to run to Home Depot at like 8 o'clock on Saturday night and get everything. Use my Scan Grip headlamp, my iView 2 headlamp, while the sun was going down, and just sat in my grass. And
not just for paint correction.
Yeah. Got the right butt connectors and hooked everything back up and got it all working, got it all put back together. Looks real sharp.
Nice.
So, you wouldn't know. So those were my two. Like, I'm really thankful I did that because I got those things like handled. But those were two things that I was like couldn't believe I did. So anyway, that was it. So
Anthony, what did you do?
So I did a couple fun things. I had a really busy weekend. So Saturday, picked a venue for my wedding. So that is done. That is wrapped up.
Is he going to tell us
in the books? Yeah, no. It's at Tamarack Resort, which is
a beautiful ski resort here in Boise.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Outside of Boise.
It's right before McCall, and it's. I don't really know how to describe it. It's like, it's beautiful, but not a lot of people, like, this is weird to say, not a lot of people know about it, and it's one of these places that, maybe I shouldn't say this, that hasn't been infected by the inflation of Boise and then the pricing market and then everything like that.
Change it around. It was going to become this magical, amazing
It was supposed to be Sun Valley Part 2.
It was going to be phenomenal 10 years ago.
Park City Part 2.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Park City Part 2. So it was going to be this wicked, they dumped millions.
Yeah, it was like millions
of dollars. And every person that, like, it was almost like there was a curse on it.
Yeah.
Everybody that bought the property couldn't keep stuff working, couldn't make it happen. But it's a beautiful, gorgeous area. It's off of the lake. It's on the mountain. It's It's just awesome.
Just ignore looking at the construction of like all the apartments and condos they were making years and years ago that are just kind of sitting there half finished.
So they've started going through.
So that's what's weird. So basically, so we went there. I don't know how to describe it. It looks like you're driving into like some place like a Disneyland park. It almost looks like that. Like it's like the roads are so perfect.
Yeah, they're
and
really nice roads,
signs and everything like that. But
ski resort.
It's like super high end. It looks like a castle. But basically, you pull up to it. It's one of those places that actually went under during the
in 2008.
2008 and
timed it just right there.
Yeah, so it went under basically. That's when, and then the builders, everybody bounced out of that place. It pretty much, I think, it went up for sale, and then that's
Swedish company. Some dudes from Sweden bought it.
Something like that happened.
Some of it, and then like parts of it were kind of going off in different. As I recall, a big chunk of it was bought up by like the people who actually already owned like cabins and property.
Well, actually, it's HOA.
Right. They
collectively bought the resort, so it's like
running.
So it's owned by the
ski
people.
Part actually works. Like people go out there and ski. And they got the
I used to mountain bike up there. I'd ride all. That's where I broke my leg.
It's a 4-season resort.
It's an awesome place.
So, anyways, but. You get so much for the money, and it's super nice, and it's like super affordable,
too.
And it's amazing. So we went up there, and it was like an instant yes. But turns out they are actually going back under construction and finishing all the places that they started here this year.
Really?
They just had somebody.
I hadn't heard about
it was
that.
A week ago. They had an investor come and say, "Yep, we're going to redo this whole thing."
That's awesome.
And so they're going through with it. They're redoing the whole golf course. I mean, I want to show you guys pictures because it's already amazing looking. So I can only imagine how crazy it's going to look here in the next couple of years. But so we settled on that. So that was good. Happy. It was a great trip. So following that night, I went out and saw a movie. I went and saw The Quiet Place, which is supposed to.
Did you pee your pants?
No, I don't look. Listen. It got great reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, and everybody seemed to like it. But I'm one of those guys to where I've watched every post-apocalyptic movie. I watch those movies and I say, "This is what I could have done. This is what I could do in that situation." Right? You start figuring it out. Way. So I watched this Quiet Place movie, and for the people that have seen it, you'll know what I'm talking about. You'll see these scenes, and you're like, "Why didn't you prepare better for this?" Or why wasn't this done differently? And it's almost kind of annoying. And so half the movie, I'm just sitting there like looking at my friend like, can you believe these amateurs? Like, obviously you don't know what to do in a post-apocalyptic situation. And it's not post-apocalyptic. It's just, creatures, zombies, taking over type of thing. So, watched that movie. I was a little disappointed. It's not bad. I was entertained, but I was just a little disappointed. And then Sunday, my dad ended up giving me some garage lighting, some really nice garage lighting. So he gave me some 8-footers, some fluorescent 8-footers. He gave me 3 of them. So
you put some LED bulbs in them?
So I have LED bulbs, which is crazy. So I have LED bulbs and I still have the fluorescents that came with them. But he gave me the huge fixture, and they're like really, really nice. And they're these fixtures, but they have this ballast in them that weighs 40 pounds. It weighs so much. So the whole fixture itself weighs a ton. And I, of course, like me thinking, I'm like, well, do I want this sitting above my car? Like, like this is kind of scary. But so I ended up going to the spot next to my car where my girlfriend's car is, and pulled her car out. And I wanted to do. Make
sure she sees this
podcast. she's got a car that can be replaced pretty fast, and it's not that big of a deal. Mine, I'd be a little.
It's an Elantra. What do you mean it can be replaced
Levi
real fast?
Well, it's not a classic Elantra like yours. It's not 2006, 2017.
Vintage.
So, me and my friend Blake, we grabbed some ladders from my dad. We had all the equipment we needed. I grabbed lag bolts or screws, whatever they are. I grabbed the kind of screws that go up and then flare out. What are those called? Anchor screws. So I grabbed all the things I needed. So me and my friend are setting this thing up. We're on 2 ladders, holding these lights above our head, which just weighs a ton. We're trying to find.
Well, you got pretty muscles. Your muscles are for show.
Yeah,
not
they
for
don't actually work.
Anthony's muscles are useless, apparently. Yeah. So anytime we ask him to move things, it's like, fine, Levi and I'll do it.
Let me finish my story. Okay, so
actually, John and I'll do it. Both of them are just equally.
Anyway, that's true. So I have my stud finder, which worked because I found myself.
Yeah. You're like, why is it beeping?
Zing. So use my stud finder. I found the studs. Right, to my knowledge, these are where the studs were. So I zipped one lag bolt in, and I felt it connect. It hit something.
Hit some meat.
So I'm like, okay, maybe not the whole thing, but it hit some of it. that'll be fine. So while I'm changing place with my friend Blake and I'm moving one area, I'm coming up to the other area, he's like, oh, okay, you're a little off because we have to cover the existing hole where my light bulb was because we're hardwiring these in, right? So he's like, oh, you got to come to the left. Oh, no, come to the right. Oh, come back to the left. So I'm holding it back and forth. And he's like, okay, that looks good. So he starts climbing up the other side of the ladder. I'm holding the last 6 inches of this 8-footer, right? I'm looking up and I hear a big loud pop, right? Next thing you know, the other side of the light comes crashing down. Blake dives out of the way, right? Because he's about to get guillotined by this thing. Dives out of the way. The ladder starts tipping over. My Evo's sitting right there.
You didn't even pull it out of the garage?
And I'm like, literally, dude, it all went in slow motion. I'm like, no. So the whole thing comes crashing down, bounces off the ladder, does this huge dent in the whole fixture. Luckily, there's no lights in it. The ladder starts tipping over. Blake dives, grabs the ladder, flips it back up, and I'm looking there. There's now a hole a small hole in my ceiling where it busted out of. And I looked at him. I said, yeah, dude, I think that's enough excitement for today. And I think we're gonna just
these lights are gonna go on the wall.
Yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this another day. And so
now you have no lights in your garage.
No. There's one that I took out. But so basically, what I've learned from this is that I'm not good at hanging lights like that, and I would rather pay somebody.
Don't you have friends that work for Idaho Power?
Yeah, but it's
they do this kind of stuff all day long.
This is one of those things where I'm embarrassed and kind of ashamed to ask for help for, because this is like something that any man should know how to do,
hang
right?
Some lights.
And this is what I'm not good at. When people are like, can you hang something? No matter what, I could have a stud finder. I will just go straight into drywall.
Find yourself all the time.
Yeah, I'll find myself. I'll be too fixated on holding this to myself.
On my chest.
And they're like, Anthony, put this screw in. I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. Go straight to drywall. So
I thought I had it.
Anyway, that was my weekend. It was enough excitement.
That sounds fun.
I got a storage unit. I forgot to tell you guys.
Oh yeah.
Moved stuff over there, and then I also dropped off the Elantra to get the studs taken off.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And put the summer wheels on.
Oh yeah, the nice wheels, the race wheels.
It's that time.
The R comps. Yeah.
And when I I cleaned them all up because they're coated in OptiCoat Pro Plus.
Yeah.
I just washed them with O&R. And I let them sit dirty all winter. Wiped them all up, nice and clean, looking sharp. I had to replace 2 tires. Because I do so many burnouts.
Well,
yeah.
So,
the anti-lag
when it kicks in. I don't know what's going on.
You're spinning all gears when you're shifting.
Yeah, all the gears are going when you're. It's automatic. It's just pa pa pa. It's like a drag. It's like a drag car. You just hit it.
He's actually got a sequential box in that thing. Yeah. It's little do we realize it's actually a Hyundai Valley car.
Yeah,
in disguise.
But I had to get 2 new tires. So
did you? Okay.
Put 2 new tires on the front of the Elantra.
Did you choose to go with the Firestone, the Firehawk Indy 500?
I went with something a little higher end.
Okay.
I went with just a Mastercraft.
Wow, he did us there.
Dane, don't you have Mastercrafts on yours?
No.
I think you do.
I think he does. But I already had Mastercrafts.
Yeah.
No,
they're a good tire.
I've got Hancooks on my.
He's got Hancooks on his
Miata. No. What's on your Volvo?
Volvo. It's got whatever the guy before
I think they're Mastercrafts.
They might be Mastercraft.
No, there's something even cheaper. I think there's some brand I've never heard of.
They're like Moyos, not Toyos, but Moyos.
Get Moyo for your money.
Zing.
I texted my buddy Wayne and was like, I think I need 2 new tires for the front. Just throw on whatever it had, and he's like, "Oh yeah, they're just Mastercrafts, so they were $80 a tire, so it wasn't a problem." But I thought about it. I almost thought like, maybe let's see if he's got something fancy and just throw all 4 on just for fun.
Like something with like a really aggressive tread pattern where you're like, dude, this looks meaty. Yeah. Just picks up all the rocks as you're driving super sticky tires.
It's got like Michelin PS4s going
what I'll
on
do
there
is
something.
I'll wait and get a different set of wheels.
Yeah.
And then I'll put some nice tires on those. Because these wheels are, my wife's hit the curb a couple times. When that anti-lag kicks in, sometimes that torque sphere, she overcompensates and it just hit a curve.
I feel like the audience wants us to have us talk about some detailing related now.
Sorry. We just get really lost in the Elantra.
So anyway, A crazy busy week. We started out this morning literally cleaning this whole hallway behind us.
Yeah.
Like, I came in and my whole office was blocked. I couldn't walk into my office.
Yeah, like a humongous Pelican case, a few like metal stands.
No, I had everything was up there. I moved all of it out of the way. Your dad had been up here painting.
Yeah, because the hallway actually looks cool now.
Yeah, he blocked my office, and so I came in, had to move stuff, and then I talked to him, and he was like, I need you guys to clear that room. And so we spent the morning just getting everything organized, put away, because like we said last week, we've got one of the owners of Goizper, of IK, coming to visit. He lands this afternoon. Him and the national sales manager for the U.S. are in town. We're going to go take him out to dinner tonight
and show him around the place.
We actually, Jeff, I don't know if you know this, but Jeff asked us to clean his Escalade today.
Oh, yes, so we need to wash the Escalade too.
I don't know if you know. Do you know a guy that knows how to do that?
Well, I think I know us. What we might do is just go down to the car wash, right?
Take it down to
you didn't hear that here, folks. You did not
take it down to the tunnel wash and just go pull that thing through.
After all we've done for that Escalade, you're going to drive it through a tunnel.
It might still work.
No. You know what? We'll give the IK spray a treatment. We'll lay some foam down on it, or we just do an O&R wash.
Show up, you're just up.
No, he's going to pick them up from the airport. So we got to get
he could be at the airport washing the car. So when they walk out, they're like, wow, they're really dedicated to
Security
Goizper.
guard's going to be really confused.
Yeah. But no, we got it. So they're coming. We're going to take them out to dinner tonight. Then they're going to be here tomorrow hanging out with us for the morning before their flight. And then in the afternoon, tomorrow afternoon, we've got Justin Pate of the Rap Institute.
Yep.
So if any of you guys don't know who he is, I'd recommend you look him up on Facebook, on Instagram, on just Justin Pate, P-A-T-E.
Pate.
Yeah. The guy is probably one of the greatest car rappers in the world. He lives in the Netherlands. He's from Boise, coincidentally.
Yeah, how'd
so
that
he's
work?
in town visiting his mom. And so I had found that out. He let me know, and I said, come by, let's get on the podcast.
So we're going to be doing a detox cast with him.
So if any of you were at SEMA this year and you were walking through the 3M booth, he and a group of other rappers, car rappers.
Why do you keep saying that? I'm just imagining these
rap artists. I don't
no, because
rap cars.
Rap with a W. Rappers with a W. Were in the booth.
But basically, they were rapping a truck, like a 63, 64 Chevy pickup, and they wrapped a different wrap on it every day during SEMA.
That was cool
sometimes
to see.
Twice a day. And that was awesome to see because it changed. They did one, they made like a woody look to it. They did like a traditional hot rod, like pinstriped, like flat black with pinstripes kind of look. Then they peeled all that off and did like, they do Chromecast stuff. I mean, they were doing it's really cool. I'd check it out on Instagram. Same kind of thing. There's pictures of that truck just looking amazing. So anyway, he's coming to town, just in town to visit his mom. So we're gonna have him in the podcast. We'll do something with him for Detox Cast, so you guys can listen to that, which will be fun. And then you and I, the three of us, need to go across the street and pick up some junkyard hoods.
It's becoming something of a habit.
Yeah, so we need to get at least like 3 more junkyard hoods.
We're doing that today, right?
And we'll do that. We'll do that on Wednesday.
Oh, okay. That's exciting.
So we'll get some junkyard hoods.
Go scope out the Melantra parts as well.
Who knows? I need a bumper and a hood.
You never know what you're going to find there.
And then, so once we get that, then we'll have our hoods. Then we'll get sandpaper and some hood stands and some other stuff. Because, of course, Jason Kilmer arrives Friday morning. And we're going to get shooting some videos and have him in for the podcast. And then we'll have Kenny from Kenny's Hot Rods also come in that night for podcast. And then because Kenny and Jason have done a ton of work together. So it'll be fun to get those two together. And then Saturday morning from 9 to noon here at the Rag Company, Jason Kilmer's giving his wet sanding clinic.
That'll be cool.
So again, if you're local, if you're nearby, come by,
It's gonna be worth it. We're gonna have snacks, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Which is always fun.
We're probably gonna have Costco muffins,
and we're gonna have the Rid sticks. So we're gonna start carrying those on the site after the event. So we'll have those available for purchase
this will give you a chance to get a better look at them.
But so this way, we won't debut them till after the event on the site, so don't go down there and try and buy some right now. But just so you know, we are going to start selling the Rid sticks as well as the polisher rack. The single unit, the PX2, I think, or PW2.
Yes, PS2, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, so we're going to do that. And then, so really crazy week.
Yeah,
and then
it in.
And then the following week, I'm only here for like half the week, and then your dad and I roll down to Las Vegas for the car wash convention. So if you're coming to the car wash convention in Vegas, come say hi.
Yeah.
Gonna get rowdy.
That's becoming a pretty big thing. I mean, I know we offer towels to a lot of different industries, but car washes, they go through a lot of towels.
They do, and most people don't seem to understand. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, why would you deal with the car wash industry?" Well, they're really stepping up their game, not only in terms of the tools and equipment that they're using, but their products. A lot of people are starting to realize that you need to be able to wash a car properly and safely instead of the old school, like, we'll just get this. Like,
I mean, you get people who are like stuck in the past, but really there's a lot of this now going on where they realize, you got to step up to really compete.
Well, people are noticing, along with like shows like ours or just YouTube in general, people are able to see swirls now. But people still want convenience. There are still folks that just can't they just don't have time to wash their car. We have customers that have come in all the time, and they're just like, I wash my car through the car wash.
If it takes more than 10 minutes, it's too long.
But they try and find a good car wash to take their cars through, and then they don't mind some slight marring, because then that spring, they pull out their polishers and they give it a good polish, and then they try and wash them during the summer on their own. But like Graham Love down in Florida, he's a detailer and he owns a car wash. Him and his dad, and he's developed. They've worked real closely with their car wash people to build a car wash that doesn't scratch cars.
Yeah,
which done right means more people will start going to that car wash than the other car washes who do screw it up.
I was gonna say, or it just works in their favor. It's like, all right, we want you to really mess up this car.
Yeah, exactly.
And then on your way out, hand him this card,
detailing services.
Say, wow, this is really messed up.
But he's polished.
Sounds like a revolving door.
Like he's an OptiCoat installer, but he's polished cars, coated them, waited, and then run them through his car wash to test to make sure that it doesn't damage the OptiCoat. And Yvonne, when he went down, he ran his Jeep through the Graham's car wash also to check after it had been towed behind the bus. So there are safe car washes out there. The key is just knowing and learning the industry as well, and learning the machines and the manufacturers and the brushes, and the proper usage of those
Levi,
tools.
It's so easy to just write off something entirely if you don't like it.
That's true. You can do that, but you can't beat convenience.
Yeah,
and it's still,
and that's what it comes down to for those folks.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And that's how it's always going to be.
Yeah.
And I'm not asking you to compete with car washes on your detailing. Just learn, because you're always going to have customers, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, you're always going to have a customer that goes, where should I wash it so it doesn't look like this? I mean, what did you do before you started washing your cars on your own?
I actually always washed my car on my own. Ever since I was
Really, you've never ran
it through a car wash?
No, I did once in my life.
Yeah.
Once in my life,
Wow.
I went through a car wash, and it was the only time I ever did it, because that was when I realized to not go through those. I went through the one over there on Eagle Road, that the Mr. Car Wash, or whatever it was.
Eagle?
On Eagle, yeah. For people that aren't local.
The Metro.
The Metro Car Wash, and so on my Honda Civic, right?
Yeah.
Took it through there, and this is where.
And it was black.
And it was a black. It was a black car. I didn't know that my black car had a glaze on it or something on it, right?
Most kids
and so, and I had no idea. Ran my car through the car wash, right? My whole entire roof completely oxidized.
Right.
Looked horrible after I brought it out, and I couldn't believe it, because I thought there was something that the car wash put on there.
Right.
And I went to the manager, and I'm like 16, I think 17 years old, and I said, "What did your car wash do to my car?" And they're like, "I think your car already had that, because there's nothing that we couldn't have done that." And I said, "Well, what did you use? Did you use any product?" And they're like, "Well, maybe just brushed it off." I don't know. And so at that point, I saw that damage.
Yeah.
And I was like, "No, I'm never doing that. I'm never doing that again."
Yeah.
And so
Well, and I'd have, for me, it was oxidation. So, like, your Miata is very oxidized.
Oh, yeah, totally.
So
single stage.
Yeah. So, after we had polished it, had you had run it through a car wash, it would have stripped.
Yeah.
Because the car wash has a really high pH soap.
Well, it's a good thing I had a leaky roof, so I'd never, ever take it through a car wash.
But that was one of the things I learned. And one thing, like, my 4Runner was like your Miata.
Yeah.
Very oxidized, very pink. And I knew that if I took it through a car wash, or my wife took it through a car wash, it would instantly turn right back to that pink color.
Chalky.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Because it would strip all the layers of,
anything that it has to protect it or mask that oxidation.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and especially on single stage paint, it's very different on a clear coat surface, unless it's a very deteriorated old clear coat that has been filled with filler or some sort. And I hadn't put a ceramic. This was just old straight carnauba wax and sealants, and I did sealants and carnauba on top.
But it looks so much better after you guys got your hands on it and changed it, because it transformed the whole car.
Right, but it's that was what I learned. But I still love going through the car wash, and so my old Honda that I never cared about the paint on it, I'd run it through a car wash just for the ease of use. And then the Elantra went through the car wash a lot. Because that was the only way I could get my wife to keep it clean. Yeah. Because I never always got it to clean it, and I didn't. We were living in an apartment, and that just wasn't. I'd have to take it and go to the shop. At the time, and so when we first bought it, so I'd run it through the car wash there for her because that was the only way I could keep that car clean. But again, it scratches like crazy. Do you still run anything?
I've taken the C-Max through a ton of washes, but I only go through touchless. Yeah. So, I mean, there are, as well as anybody, there's still stuff that goes on in a touchless wash that you think, because it doesn't have brushes, it's safer. But there's trade-offs.
Right. No, you're still going to get hydrofluoric acid at a touchless wash, or you're going to get a higher pH content in the soap.
Because I got to make up for the difference somehow.
They've got to break the dirt down somehow in that few minutes that they have. Yeah. I like taking, in the winter, I would do that. I took the van to a touchless wash in our neighborhood, just one of those ones that kind of goes around the car. Yeah. And it's just a single bay. And then I pull out and then pull it in the other bay and then pull out my bucket and do kind of a rinseless over it just to get a kind of a spray, but I didn't have to get out and hose the car down kind of deal.
I'll go to car washes, but I use like the self-serve base. That's generally what I do when I go there. And I'm sure, Anthony, you've done the same thing. You run over to the coin op or something like that. You control the experience. So, obviously, you're probably going to leave that brush they give you, that broom thing, right where it is. Not going to pull it out. You're going to use maybe the foam guns and the pressure washers, stuff like that, because, hey, maybe you don't have one at home. Yeah. Because I don't have a pressure washer at home, but it is handy to have one when you go over to the car wash. And it's just basic common sense, otherwise applying your wash principles.
Yeah. Well, and in the new video series we're doing with the Volvo, that's one of the things we're going to hit on is taking the Volvo in to clean the motor.
By the way, somebody door dinged me in the Volvo this weekend when I was downtown. I had it parked in a pay parking space. I came back to my car, and there's just a little, it looked like a golf ball donked it, but there's little paint chips right there. And of course, right now, because of our video series, there is zero protection on the paint.
Well, and we've walked, Anthony and I walked that paint.
To the left of you or to the right? Like, so somebody parked next to you?
On the driver's door, the leading edge of the driver's door, just like 2 inches behind that, there's a little
because you did you park in a parking garage?
No. I parked in a outdoor parking lot that you pay for. It was across from Whiskey Bar and
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So it's that one, but right next to Wise Guys Pizza. And
6th and Main,
somebody.
Oh yeah, that's where it's going to happen.
That's the old Moxie Java parking lot.
Think about it like this, guys. You take
If you saw how many tow trucks were out towing people for parking on the street on Saturday night, it was terrifying. So I'm like, I'll just pay for space.
So downtown,
they towed 8 cars that I watched just for sitting because it turns into like some taxi waiting zone depending on what time of night it is.
Yeah, you're right.
And they're like, whoop, this car's still here. Money for the city, and they just
they did change a lot of that.
But that could be a learning lesson for you. Going downtown, right? When people, have you seen a drunk guy get out of a car, right, or get in and out of a car, nightmare.
Have you seen children get in and out of a car? That's what I run into all the time.
Here's one thing. If you see a drunk guy getting in or out of a car, tell them no. Stop them. Don't let them get back in that car.
They're going to have a friend or something like that.
Say they're getting to the passenger side and they're next to your door.
Anybody. But that's why whenever I've gone downtown in my nice car, I park at the very top of the top of the parking garage, and I park somewhere where I wedge myself in an area that can't be touched. And that's how crazy I get about it.
Normally what I do is I actually do street side parking because I've never been dinged parking on the street because nobody can park next to you.
I've been clipped. My bumper's been clipped.
To a lot.
Yeah.
So that's been my experience.
Parallel parking.
That lot is very small.
Yeah.
I remember parking my '68 Cadillac Coupe de Ville in there, and I'd park it in there, and it would take up like not only the entire space, but then the extra space up front and behind, and so people couldn't pull in because if I had that front spot, I'd screw everybody, and I'd back my Cadillac in too, and so it looked really awesome in that parking lot.
That's kind of the idea.
Because it's all old brick buildings all around, and you'd have my.
Dane didn't have a ding.
Yeah,
I don't think you had a ding on that car.
There were no dents, no dings,
which is amazing.
Which leads me to our topic of the day.
Right. Well, that's where I was going to, talking about bringing in the Volvo, doing the vlog, or doing the details with Levi correction series on buying a used car.
I'm really glad we're doing that now.
But it was basically we washed this last week. We washed the car and got it ready. But what I was hitting on with that car wash and trying to create a segue was we're going to take it to the car wash to do the motor.
Right.
Because that's another thing some people don't understand is you can't just pressure wash in your driveway the engine bay.
Yeah, because we don't have proper drainage to do that
and
here.
In some areas, you can't even wash in your neighborhood because you're HOA or something like that. So going to...
I'm going to do it anyways. I don't care. Find me. Find me. Track me down.
But there are,
you're going to get
but we're also saying for the guys that are in an apartment complex and you bought a used car and you want to be able to do some stuff, you can utilize the self-serve bay to do all the first wash and the decontamination stuff and all that.
And that's what this whole series is going to be.
That's kind of what we're, is making it so that it's as easy as possible.
Helping somebody buy a used car. Here's all the things you can do to take it from being like, it's pretty nice to, oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, and the hard part was Dane's car didn't have any rock chip or didn't have any dings in it. So
had chips, but no dings.
Yeah. So we were going to have to put a ding in the door anyway. To get
well,
do
now
a
we
PDR.
Can PDR it.
Yeah.
So do we know a PDR guy?
Yeah. So I've got some guys we can reach out to. But that's going to be the next. So our next step is going to be finishing getting the paint ready. We got to get some tar off of it. We got to put some tar remover on. We got to get some water spots cleared out first.
Because we're doing the whole shebang. This is not like one of the videos where we're just touching on a subject and we're going to do that particular thing to a car that's already either protected or something like that. This is soup to nuts.
Yeah.
So,
and then this came in here. So we've got our Dr. Colorchip.
For those who can't see, we have Dr. Colorchip.
So I'm gonna give a little explanation for people that may not know what this is. So Dr. Colorchip, in my opinion, is the best rock chip repair system that's out there because. Back in the day, if you wanted to fill in a rock chip, you would go to your local
nail polish.
You'd go to your you could use nail polish. You could go down to your local store, but local auto parts store, and you pick up what looks like it's close to the color, and it comes with a little brush inside there. You take it out,
brush
and then you go and you blob it on there. Next thing you know, it's blobbed everywhere. It looks horrible. It doesn't look good. You could try the method. I mean, if you're going to do that anyway, I would usually grab a toothpick, put it in the touch-up paint, and just tap with a toothpick until I get it covered. But if you do it with a paint blob, paint blobs fall out. If you don't prep the surface, they don't stick, they don't stay in.
Yeah, most people, they just go right for it. They go, there's the hole, and then they just stuff the little brush they got in there.
Just because it fits in the hole doesn't mean you should put it in there. Right, Dane? So,
wow.
Now, so Dr. Colorchip was kind of the answer to, what I needed. It was something
it's a float method rather than a dab.
So what you actually do is when you apply Dr. Colorchip, it does come with a little brush. It comes with little applicator things. You actually are putting it next to the blob using your glove, a rubber glove, and you're actually smearing it into the chip. So you're leveling the chip.
Literally says smear right on the package.
And then it comes with a product called Seal-Act that you actually remove it. So let's go and open this up. Let's see what comes in this box. So Tony from Dr. Colorchip was nice enough to send this out to us. He sent us 3 kits for all of the rock chip filling we need to on Dane's car, Jeff's Escalade, and then we picked up a normal black color. But so in here we have a microfiber towel that is not ours, but hopefully will someday be ours. So a little microfiber towel, looks like a little 12 by 12 Terry, probably 350 GSM overlock stitch edge.
Most likely an 80/20.
That's a 4-corner zip stitch.
Yep. So and then here, so we have the Rag Company, the Rag Escalade Blue, and comes with the color. It comes with the Seal-Act solution, which is used to remove the excess color and then seal in the chip. Then you have your actual paint in there, which can be used to stand alone. It says that you need to always seal it in, but I've used it by itself, and it still stays.
On the Evo, right?
So, not on the Evo. I did it on the actually the Civic. Oh. So, I picked up one of these kits for the Civic. So, it comes with a couple little brushes here. Let's open this up. So, you got the Seal-Act. Shake that up. You have your paint. There's the paint. And then you have 3 little brushes here. So, and there's like a size for whatever you may need. There's a small little brush. You have your thicker, more paint style brush, and you have your really, really thin one.
Yep. Well, I used to buy, you could buy these in bulk. And so I would buy these little brushes so we'd have them all the time, just so we'd have them in the shop, because you'd never know when you'd have a customer that would come in and if they brought you their own paint touch-up, because you do have customers that show up from the, let's say they buy a Lexus and Lexus gives them a little touch-up bottle.
Yeah, because the dealership will have the correct paint code usually.
So you'll get a customer and he's like, hey, I need you to
they won't show you how to use it.
Can you touch up these 5 spots? And they just hand you a bottle of paint.
Yeah.
Having these, just having a box of these handy, just made it nice for my guys. One, to be better at doing a small, quick touch-up for a customer instead of using like a nail polish brush or something like that. I mean, realistically, these are the best thing you could buy to just have for that purpose. Yeah.
And what's awesome, though, is that They sent us the bigger bottles. So this right here, guys, is enough to fill every rock chip on your car for the next 5 years.
It's a lot of paint.
This is a lot of product. This is going to last you forever, and this would be great for larger scratches and larger areas that had no paint. But so you comes with those, and then in here as well, it comes a little brush. It actually says that since this blue color has metallic in it, that you need to use this brush to kind of scrape the bottom to get the metallic back up into the paint when you shake it.
Otherwise, you'll just get the blue tint, and then it looks funky.
Your black little nitrate glove for smearing it into the chip, and then it comes with this really cool cloth. It's almost like a paper towel, but it's softer. And this is what you actually use. You apply the Seal-Act onto this towel, and this is what you use to level the paint. Yeah. So this will remove the excess and then keep that chip filled, basically.
Filled in the chip. So the paint goes in, and then it it goes like this. And it sits on top, but then when you wipe that sealant, there's still...
he's doing a magic trick.
Yeah, there's still paint in
It's a weird-looking magic trick, Levi.
But there's still paint in that crevice.
Correct, yeah.
And so it looks almost seamless. Yeah. And so there is a local company here in Boise that does do this style of touch-up. They don't use Dr. Colorchip. They use a different method, but it's the same exact setup.
Same principles.
Where they float paint. And they're not just walking around with a paintbrush dabbing paint into a customer's car. Yeah. And I loved using them to touch up the car because of the flawless, seamless look. Yep. Customers would show up and go,
and that's what you're getting with this, because this method, far and away, and that's the other thing. It tends to be, I don't know if it's 100% foolproof, but it definitely makes it easier for somebody who's never done this kind of thing before to be able to do it.
Well, and the girl that works for that company came in last week and bought towels from us, and she was like, saw my car out there, and she goes, who did that touch up on your car? And I said, I had a kid a couple of years ago. trying to push his services, and he offered to touch up my car for free. Obviously, you can see I never used him again.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, that looks like garbage. And I was like, yeah, I know. And she goes, you should have just had me do it. I was like, I know. Yep, I know. Sorry.
Yeah. Always the salesperson.
Yeah,
Always.
but it was, it was still funny that 4 years later, she looks at the touch-up job on my car and goes, wow, that is not good.
Laser focus.
But if anybody else saw it that isn't, they'd be like, oh, looks good. You get to touch it. It's fine. Like,
it's the
my
same
wife
difference.
Didn't think anything of it,
when people don't see swirls,
right?
And
but other detailers, those of you that have that focused eye, will spot the difference, and that's one of the reasons I love Dr. Colorchip is it makes it available for folks to use on their own in your own car, and you get that same method. It's super simple.
And for people that are curious, they're probably wondering how do you get your paint color, right? So they actually have a system on the website where you put in the year of your car, the make, model, all of that, and it gives you your color options. You pick the color that is yours, and they actually custom blend that color for you, and they write it on there for you as well, so it kind of shows that it's all made by hand. It's kind of made to order, and so it's not some off the shelf color, and that's what's it's so awesome about it. This Jeff's car is this blue color, and it's
a very bright blue. That bottle looks dark, but it's
kind
a
of
very
blue.
It's a cool metallic blue.
But the second we put this on there, it's going to look seamless. I've never seen a color chip job that didn't look good.
Even on your Evo, you've got some nice flake in your gray.
And you can polish over color chip. You can seal over it. You can coat over it. You can do everything.
So we're actually going to polish first, and then we'll do the Dr. Colorchip on the Volvo, just so we don't, and then we'll coat over the top.
Yeah.
Right.
So we're really excited because, this stuff, like I said, I love it so much. Tony is awesome for sending these things out. And what's awesome, they're affordable for you guys. So if you have a vehicle and you're really OCD about rock chips, you can pick up this kit. I think this kit's around $60. Like I said, you have enough paint to feel every rock chip for the next 5 years.
Realistically, buy a new car and buy yourself Dr. Colorchip kit, and then you're set.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about anything.
You don't have to worry the whole time you own your vehicle. You have your paint touch-up kit ready to go.
And I imagine the stuff lasts a while, too.
It does. I think they say that the shelf life is 2 years for everything. They said, but I remember when I talked to them, that was their recommended shelf life. I'm sure you're going to get another couple of years out of it.
It really lasts probably like 3 or 4.
But if you can keep it nice, the key is, proper storage.
Yeah.
Don't leave it in your garage in the wintertime, right by the door.
All the temperature differences.
So that it changes. If you've got a nice spot in a climate-controlled area like in your house.
I'm not saying put it in your pantry in your kitchen, but that wouldn't be the worst place for it.
That's honestly probably the best place because it doesn't have to deal with
the drawer everybody has in their kitchen where they just throw random things because they
put
don't
that
know.
In there. Maybe that'd be kind of weird, but
put it somewhere.
But just as long as you take care of it, it'll be there for you. So
we're really excited to make some future videos with this stuff and show you guys how much we love it. And that's the thing. This isn't something we're ever going to sell. This is just a product that we really genuinely like, and we like to use it.
And it's inexpensive enough that you can actually, Dr. Colorchip, for those of you with detail shops that want to offer this as a setup, you can buy a kit from them that has all the different colors.
And you blend your own,
general, and you kind of blend your own. It tells you kind of how, or it comes with a good number of colors for certain makes and models, and you refer back to your dictionary that it comes with and all that. But it's an extra profit center for your company. So
added value for your customer. Sure.
You could sell this added onto a detail and sell it into the service and do it on your own. So and there's a lot of guys that do it, and it's a good revenue stream. You add it into the price of a paint correction. Take you a couple hours to finish out all the rest of that stuff, but you make a little more money on it, and customers happy because the car looks great.
What somebody charges for PDR or chip repair and stuff like that, it's usually a little more than somebody's expecting when they go on. They put that together. But if you can have a result that looks seamless and it fits in there, that's a really great value.
Well, and I've had a lot of customers that go, "I'd like to get the paint chips taken care of too." While you got it, and it's like, yeah, I can do that. And I would just I used to sublease it out to this company, Chip and Scratch Repair, just because.
You trust them to do a good job.
I trusted them, and that gal had a better eye on color than I did, to the point she was flawless with her color matching ability, and that's why I used her, because I wanted flawlessness. I didn't want me going in there and going like, yeah, this is silver. Oh god, that's dark gray. Hold on a second, it looks silver to me. You know.
Well, it's like those levels of here's what the customer sees, here's what the detailer sees, here's what the paint technician sees, and it's that just that ever increasing eye for that particular detail, and you can see like 95% of it, but it's that extra 5-10% that makes the difference.
But it's not even that hard to sell. A lot of guys freak out and they're like, "Oh, I can't do Colorchip on there for that."
Definitely,
customers will ask for that when they're setting up their appointment for certain jobs,
especially depending on like where you're located up here in kind of a mountainous region and stuff.
All you got to do is sell chips. All you got to do is tell the customer, "Hey, we can do paint touch up for an extra $100."
Yeah.
You know, if you want to add that in, we'll go through and touch up all your rock chips. And they're like, "Oh, yeah, why not?" You know.
Yeah.
So,
and that's where I think another person, I remember somebody's commenting on the post section we made today, said they like to order a kit they ask the customer ahead of time, do you want me to do touch-up repair? They calculate the cost of the kit into their price and then their application price and whatever they charge to apply it, however long it takes for them to do that.
Yeah.
And they end up pocketing some money. The customer gets to take home the kit. Whatever they don't use, they say, "Here, well, here's your kit for next time." Right?
Great idea.
Next detail you come in,
They're
right?
super happy with it.
It's $60. You say, charge them the cost of the product, but then charge them $100 to apply it, or something.
Or even if it takes you an hour, and let's say your shop rate's $50, it's an extra $110. You know, it's going to take you an hour. You paid $60 for the kit.
Yeah.
You know, you make $50.
Yeah.
For one extra hour's worth of work.
And most people will take that.
And you're giving your customer that kit, it instantly brands your customer to you. And again, like I said, it puts you in that position with them where you're the caretaker
of their vehicle. Yeah.
You know, they're the ones that are going to call you now for tires. They're the ones that are going to call you for mechanic work. Not that they want you to do it. They want to get a referral, and the goal is they want to think.
Well, and that's what interests me when I look online and I see some of these other detailers out there. They're like branching off into some like interesting niches where they also offer wheels or tires or stuff like that as part of it. They're like, oh,
massages.
Certified.
Have you guys seen that one?
Yeah.
Oh, you haven't seen that one?
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, me either. That was.
I don't know where you're looking, but
gosh.
But no, like branching off and actually offering, side supplements to your own business that make sense, they complement it, but they're maybe not necessarily what somebody's expecting, and they're very pleasantly surprised that, oh, hey, I can get that done here too?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Yep.
But chip repair is one of those things that it seems like a small thing, and it is literally a small thing.
It is a small thing.
It makes a big difference.
But it makes a huge difference, especially, I mean, I'm that guy to where if I see this beautiful hood, right, and I see that one black spot or that one white spot,
that leading
and I'm
edge.
like, well, there's that chip right there. The whole that hood is ruined by that one chip right there. And they're like, "Oh man, it really is. I was hoping, that wasn't noticeable." I'm like, "Well, when you have this perfect hood, everything, not one little chip or scratch on it, and then you see that one, I'm like, man, you could benefit from some Dr.
The better all that is, the worse this little thing's going to look.
Yeah. That's the unfortunate part. However, I'm like, we can add some more chips to this. I'll go grab a bag of rocks and start throwing
out.
throw them at.
Drive behind a gravel truck?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I saw a big mountain of gravel. They're getting ready to chip seal.
No, don't tell me that.
Ada County has this piece of property that they have fenced off that they store stuff in, and during leaf collection, it's usually filled with leaves, right, from the city when they go around and pick up leaf bags. And it's downtown, right over there by the Red Lion. Right there, and right by Ennis Fine Furnishings or whatever, Drexel or whatever. So it's around that little corner, that little jaunt. Well, I drove by the other day, and they have a mountain of gravel, and the little pea-sized gravel. So here in Boise, we do a lot of chip sealing, where they lay down tar and then they put gravel on top, and then they spray oil again on it, and it's super fun.
It's almost like a road.
It's
so much fun.
It's awesome for your car in every way,
because you get tons of tar, you get tons of dust, and you get rock chips.
Yeah,
it keeps detailers in business. What are you talking about?
It really benefits everybody, and it keeps the drivers safe in the wintertime. If we didn't have that, then it would be even worse than it is. Right?
Open wheel car with the windows down.
It is true, but I mean, I'm always wondering, how much worse is it going to be? Because people already don't know how to drive in the wintertime. So how?
One of my favorite things though is I love driving on the newly asphalted roads.
Oh, yeah,
when
that's
they're
nice.
fresh asphalt.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, this is so nice. And you get to drive on it for like 2 weeks.
Yep.
And then the next week you come through and you're just driving on gravel.
Yeah.
You're like, what did we do?
What happened?
Yeah,
What the heck?
why did this need to happen?
Yeah,
why
did we need to put this noisy gravel down?
It feels so cheap.
Yeah.
And then like 2 weeks later, it's covered in hot tar. And you're driving in the middle of summer and it's just...
And in the summer, it's hot. It's like bacon onto the...
Oh, no, you can
and the
see
whole
the
goal
little
is you
wavy
create this
lines
nice,
coming
like,
up off the road.
crunchy glue to hold the... So they put the hot tar down, they put the gravel on, and you drive through that until the gravel's been worked in.
Yeah.
And then they put tar over the top of that, and you get to drive on that.
Yeah.
And then it's all done. And then it's good for like 2 years, and then they start chip sealing
2
again.
years,
Yeah.
and then they come back to that spot.
Yeah.
It's actually, it's a never-ending process, but I think,
So to those of you that get it done in your areas, you know what we're talking about.
Yeah. It looks better than the tar snakes, though, because, I'm talking about when they do...
We don't have tar snakes here in Boise.
Because tar snakes look pretty bad. We don't have them here in Boise, but we do have them up in the mountains.
We do have them in the mountains.
I'll go and drive on those. And I don't know if anybody listens that drives or rides a motorcycle, but you know that feeling when you hit a tar snake on a hot day on a motorcycle. It's like a pucker moment, because right when you're turning, you'll hit that tar snake and you'll lose traction for a split second, then you'll catch, and then it's always that pucker moment.
And if those of you wonder what a tar snake is, it's where they take the tar and they fill in a crack in the asphalt. Yep. And so they're like, you drive through Utah, and it's like there's patterns and design, like hieroglyphs painted into the road from all the cracks that they've.
Well, it's fun.
Like,
you can usually tell when you're
in.
leaving one area, you're crossing a county line, or you're going to some like other state. You can tell when it changes, and you're like, oh, these guys.
This
make
is
the tar
where they
snakes.
didn't have the budget for new roads.
Luckily, our county spends a lot of money on keeping the roads nice and keeping them very, like, we have some beautiful roads here in Ada County. And even Canyon County is not too bad.
But as you get further up into the mountains, or you're heading towards more of the not quite as populated areas, you do notice there's a little bit of a difference.
Yeah. So rock chip season's coming. Yeah. So that's super fun. So I'll take a picture of that so we can post it maybe tomorrow morning, so we can we'll post it on the podcast Facebook page of the mountainous pile of gravel ready to go. And sprinkle on the ground.
That is something we should do, though. Like, you guys, if you have it happen in your area, share your pictures of your experiences on the podcast group on Facebook pictures. There. Like, what do you guys have in your area?
Like, we'll join you in just getting just as pissed off. We'll join you in getting angry. So
my favorite is when de-icer starts to go. I almost think when de-icer goes down, the road is far slipperier than if ice was there.
Yeah, somehow it's worse.
It's
like it coats the tires. It's like, oh no, this is not good.
Oh man.
See, I don't know why people want to move to Boise. It's like
guys, save your money.
Apparently, it's amazing.
Stay away.
They're like, look at these
Ignore
great
all
roads.
those top 10 lists.
Look at all the beautiful scenery, the mountains.
No, you don't want that.
Tamarack Resort up the street.
Right? Yeah, run up those prices before he can lock in his
Please
rate.
don't do that. Like, it's a genuine worry I'm having right now. I'm like, man, this place is so nice. Why aren't more people, coming up here? And apparently they're booked out through all of this year, and they said they're starting to book for next year. But they said that really it's just a lot of people don't know that you can have a wedding there. That's kind of what it is. A lot of people, they don't know that the place is even open in the summertime.
They used to have an Atkinson's market up there. They had a grocery store up there.
Did they?
In like a really cool like military tent type of thing.
Yeah. They still have those military tents up there.
Yeah, it's like a big yurt, but it was like those military Quonset huts
that's
that
right.
are like,
now I remember. Yeah, it had like sliding doors, but it was still the framed out.
But there was like fabric roofs and stuff. But it was like a beautiful grocery store.
And it made it kind of a fun experience out there, just having everything be those humongous tents rather than like an actual big regular structure.
I was telling my fiance that if they don't finish with the construction that they started of these castle-looking things, like how cool would that be? Like one of the nights that everybody's staying there to have like a haunted, like you know what I mean? Like go through the construction, just go wander.
Trespass.
Yeah, that'd be
so. Are you doing like an October?
I think we're leaning towards more like August or early September.
Okay.
And so I think that's kind of how it's going to be, and it's going to be like a weekend thing for people that want to make it a weekend thing.
Sure. Yeah.
I found out that room rates were pretty affordable, and by affordable I mean like $120 a night.
Nice.
And so like that's pretty good considering people are traveling anyways. And if they're going to stay somewhere, might as well stay at a nice resort.
We can get them all up there and everybody in the mountains.
Yeah. Have a crazy party. bring a bunch of microfiber towels, and that's what we'll do. Instead of throwing rice or throwing like confetti, we'll just grab eagles, and we'll just start throwing eagles. We'll have all these detailers that listen to the podcast.
We put them all on the long detail brushes, and then we all like we're a military wedding.
We have like a bunch of people
sabers, but they're
show
just
up, and they're like, we're here for the eagle confetti. We're just here to load up for the year.
We just cut a bunch of eagles into small squares.
We throw them into a wood chipper.
Throw them.
We could. We're like people like coding applicators, like grabbing these out of thin air.
Or it's just we could just vacuum the floors.
That brings to
and
mind
get all
a
the lint, and we just shoot lint balls out.
I constantly hear about detailers saying, "I really like this towel."
Katie's covered in orange and blue and red fibers.
Like this lint cannonball, like boom,
like confetti. Boom.
Yeah, it's like blowing up, and people
make a mess. Nobody can clean it up. It's like, don't worry, grab a lint roller. Yeah, it comes off. We got. You guys are coughing because it's in my mouth. Like, I think some are in my eyelids. I couldn't get it out.
It's never coming out.
That's right, guys. Taste that Korean microfiber. Enjoy
it. It's a 70-30 blend.
Yeah, that's actually one of the
weave. I don't know if you knew that.
If you were going to put any blend in your mouth, that's the one to put, right?
It's no more edible than the other one, though.
Yeah. People listening, like, I tasted my 70-30 towel. It wasn't as good as what you said.
Anthony's a liar.
Yeah. Anyway.
It just made me think, though, like, the people who like to take their towels and they go, I like this towel, but I wish it was smaller. And then they just cut them up. You hear about folks who go, I wish this towel was smaller. And on one hand, I want to go, no, stop, because it might continue to cause problems.
Well, because if you cut it wrong, if you don't cut it right
against the grain.
Yeah, it's funny enough, but if you cut it just the wrong direction, you cause an issue.
That's where the weave is woven, and so all of a sudden
it
you
loses
just created
all its structural integrity, and next thing you know, you got a mess on your hands. But that doesn't seem to stop people from doing that. So I know there's folks who like doing that, and I get it, but at the same time, I want to make sure people realize, like, if you have problems with a towel after you've done that.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what's going to happen. So
Well, our topic today was actually paint correction, but we really didn't touch on that.
We did. Yeah. We talked a little bit about the door dings, the chip repair. As to the paint correction, basically, easy way to describe it is you've got to, look at what you're going to fix on the car. Look at what you have as your tool. Look at your compounds, your machines, your pads.
Maybe you're doing it by hand. But realistically, if you're doing it for yourself, go all out. Feel what you need to do. Like, we're doing your car because we can. Yeah.
But we're cutting deep, Dane. We're taking off
hardcore.
Well, that's what I wanted to talk about.
We're not
understanding some people.
We're not going to leave you with any clear coat.
But a lot of just go diving into the paint like that.
Yeah, but basically,
leave some for the rest.
For your customers, though, it's always going to recommend on what's their budget and what they can afford. Yeah. So you always want to just give them the best correction for the budget. Yeah. And so utilizing good products, figuring out the best way to give them something really great. One of the things that a lot of people like is they use like the last cut with like an orange HDO on their Rupes.
It's
and then
fast.
Honestly, topping it with Hyperseal is flawless.
Yeah.
Of the OptiCoat line.
You're going to have a good time.
You can get a really good, I mean, that's what you've done on a lot of the higher end cars you've done when you've only needed to do a one step.
Yeah.
And that looks pretty good. And for most people, that's easy entry into getting a paint correction. Yeah. You're not wet sanding doing 3 steps. And
that satisfies most people out there. If they were to see that, they go, wow.
Yes. Yeah.
Great. I don't need anything more than that. This is
perfect. And then it goes back to that customer. How's they going to care for that?
Yeah.
You could do a killer paint correction on every single car that comes into your shop, and you're going all out, and you're going to get it so it's perfect. But that customer in 3 days may run it through a car wash because that's
where
just
every single branch is smacking the sides.
Or they run it through a car wash because that's just how they care for their car. So is there a necessity to go that deep into paint correction on a vehicle that you don't need to?
And that's what I wanted to get at was...
Well, it boils down to you've got to know your customer, you've got to know what they can do, and you've got to know how they're going to take care of it.
Yeah.
And that really is all it is. And it goes back to our topic on the car wash. If they're going to run it through a car wash, sell them on the correction that you feel is necessary, because especially if this is a return customer.
Yeah.
But also sell them on the proper care for that vehicle afterwards. So if they're like, oh yeah, take it through this car wash, and oh, that car wash is like sandpaper.
Yeah.
It's going to destroy this car. Tell them, where do you live? Is that close to your house? And they say, yeah. Well, this car wash is even closer and does this method. And it's a lot safer, a lot friendlier. It's not going to damage. It's still going to cause damage, but it's going to be less damage. So that when it comes back to you in 6 months, it's going to be less damaged than if they go through that other car. Because you're going to go, oh yeah.
Because they're going to do it anyway. All you're doing at that point is just helping direct and make it a little bit easier
and remember,
next time.
People like their paint clean and shiny.
Yeah.
Not clean and deep and glossy.
I want shiny
I want to
scratches.
see myself. They just want the surface clean and shiny.
Yeah.
So from 20 feet away, as long as the car looks clean and shiny, they're good.
Yeah.
So the key is knowing the customer, and that is the biggest. There's a lot of guys that just they feel like as detailers they have to do a 3-step correction on every car.
And anything less than that, anybody who does anything less than that is inferior. And that's not true at all.
No,
do what's best for your customer.
Right. You want to make the customer happy. And if they're happy with a coat of wax, they're happy with a coat of wax. I've got a customer that just went down to my old shop to meet with the boys to get them to do a polish. He's doing a 1-step and just a sealant on it.
Yeah.
But he's got a black Accord.
That'll show.
He takes it through the car wash down the street from our house twice a week.
Oh, that must look pretty great.
And he told me this weekend, he called me to tell me that he's like, hey, I went down and talked to the boys. They're going to take care of it. He goes, it looks great still from 2 years ago when you polished it.
Oh, and you're like, that's sweet, but we both know that's not true.
Right.
But then again, you're like, this is the mindset of
in
this
my
customer.
mind, I go, all the work I did has been undone
There's
in the
no
last
way
2 years.
It could look good.
Right. I do see his car a lot, and it looks fine, but it's clean and scratched.
Yeah, it's shiny scratches.
But to him, it looks great.
Yeah.
He's like, it still looks wonderful, but I'm taking it back in to get polished again because, the car wash took some scratch. So
that'll be a great week, and then from there on out, it'll be...
Yeah, but it's a different... to him, he's happy.
Yeah.
Yep. He's happy with it. He's going to bring it in every 2 years, get us to polish and seal it. Then he asked, hey, can I go to... Where's Matt's new place at? Mm-hmm. Should I go see Matt? And I was like, well, yeah, but you can see Matt if you want, but...
It's just knowing...
I know what you're getting done, and I know that my new boys at Hawks are going to be able to handle it.
Yeah.
Matt can handle it, definitely. Matt will probably charge you a little more because of... the Lupo Auto Salon,
but because
it's a
of the
little
way
higher price.
You're treating the vehicle, it doesn't make sense to go and get, some really high-end job done if all you're going to do is just beat it back up again.
Yeah.
It makes more sense to, and that's the other thing I wanted to get at, is there's only so much paint on there. You can only buff it so many times before you start to run out of room.
Yep.
And
so key is just listen to your customer, educate your customer, find out what they want and how they're going to care for it.
Yeah.
That's basically it. And if, we all want to be rock stars. We all want to put up beautiful, gorgeous works of art.
Everybody wants those concourse details every day.
But not every car needs it.
No.
And not every customer is going to pay for it. So.
And usually, like you said, it's the mommy mobiles and everything else. Those are the ones that actually end up paying for a lot of that stuff. So, you're in the biz.
Very cool, guys.
All right. Well, nothing to add, Anthony? You good?
I think that's good. I think Levi hit the nail
right on the head,
right on the foot.
And he smacked his thumb. Okay, well, I guess that's.
I just got one. I just got that. That's got that. A flashback. You ever see Happy Gilmore where he has to hit the nail, where he hits the golf ball off the nail on the guy's foot? That's the best. Anyways, all right, I'm done.
And we leave you with that visual. All right. So, guys, as usual, you can find us, if you're watching here, you're obviously on YouTube, but if you're listening, maybe you're on Shout Engine or iTunes, you can always find us those places. So until next time, this is us saying goodbye.
See you guys.